Welcome to today's news on TV9. I'm Ada Show. In today's local news, Gifted Kids is pleased to announce that annual sharing nights are taking place throughout the country in this month. Well, September is also the month to raise awareness and educate about gynecological cancers. And as a part of the Late at the Museum season, one of the 7 sins will be the theme of tonight's show at the Auckland Museum. The new tongue-in-cheek campaign to promote Auckland as a domestic travel hub is being welcomed by the industry operators. Christy Jai has more.
Looking for an exotic holiday with a difference? Not too far from home? A vibrant hub for inspiring cuisine, world-class designers, spectacular events with beaches and wineries minutes away.
This is a new campaign to promote Auckland as the hub of domestic travel in New Zealand. The first one in more than a decade, it targets Kiwis and visitors from other parts of the country to holiday in the city of sails, helping to boost up the annual value of the sector to $2 billion by 2021.
The international markets at the moment are changing, and a lot of the tourism industry in Auckland is not benefiting from a lot of the new Asian international business that's coming in. So we see that there's a huge opportunity to grow the domestic market for Auckland.
Domestic travel accounts for $36 million in economic activity every day, but AT, the council body responsible for promoting local tourism, says visitors often have negative perceptions about Auckland.
One of the challenges we have is that Auckland is perceived as a big city outside of Auckland, so they don't understand that we've got, beautiful islands and wineries and all these other things to do in Auckland. So.
The lonely.
Jardinier de légumes.
Their English is generally good.
Mixed veg.
Oh yeah, jardiniers.
And the exchange rate is great.
Tourism operators are welcoming the campaign, with the likes of Intercity Group offering special deals on around-the-city tours as a response. Christy Zhao, 9 News.
Passport fees could be lowered due to the move to digital would streamline the process of applying for passports and reduce production costs. An Internal Affairs Minister said the recent change to a 5-year passports has increased the number of renewals, and the surplus of money has built up, meaning there's a possibility of reducing fees. New Zealand Fashion Week has made it to another year amid concerns about its future, but young designers are still appreciative of the opportunity to showcase their talents. Christy Jai has more.
New Zealand Fashion Week has come a long way since its inception in 2001, attracting huge public interest and attention from buyers around the world. But its relevance is also increasingly coming under question, with the event going on for the 3rd year without a naming rights sponsor, and many top designers in the country opting to sit out because of financial pressure. Many new designers, though, say the event is still a good opportunity to raise brand awareness.
I'm really happy to be here again. We did the New Generation show last year, so this is the next thing for us, and we really hope it continues because it's so much fun and we get so much out of it.
Wellington designer Darren Schmidt worked her way up the fashion ladder through experiences in New Zealand and UK fashion houses. She realized her dream when her label was launched with its debut range 2 years ago. For this season, though, her inspirations were even more global.
So architecture buildings, I looked around the world to see the Chrysler building and the Louvre and other buildings around the world. So I got inspired by the geometric shapes and the sharp corners.
The Fashion Week will run at Auckland's Viaduct Event Centre until September 9. The public can have a chance to open their wallets by going to Fashion Weekend and Designer Garage Sale. Christy Zhao, 9 News.
Gifted children around the nation are organising a number of short programs to showcase their talents. Keisha reports.
These are some of the talented children from Sir Edmund Hillary School in South Auckland. They meet every Wednesday with Charlene from Gifted Kids to develop their talent and leadership skills.
We try and encourage our kids to change the world, to make it better, especially in our communities.
Being recognised for their talent is important as it motivates their learning. This is why Gifted Kids is pleased to announce the annual sharing nights with the theme of Live Your Dreams.
You expect to see some mini documentaries that the kids have made, some old students popping in to say hello and maybe join in. with the kids, some dancing, some singing and some art exhibitions and things that kids have been doing.
Singing being a huge part of the culture in South Auckland, 9 News reporter asked one of the kids to show off her talent for the camera.
I see you every day thinking that you will come, 'cause baby you should meet you, 'cause you're the only one.
One student has put together a mini documentary all by herself to raise alcohol awareness and gain some new insights from this experience.
If you want to make a movie, it's really hard, and about alcohol, it's like even harder because you have to know heaps of things about it.
Gifted Kids help these students to take the right steps and closer to changing their communities. Kay Chow, 9 News.
Minister of Social Development Paula Bennett said 30 days will be given for people to clear up their warrants with the police before the benefits are stopped. Those with children will have the benefits halved. There are 15,000 people with a current arrest warrants. Over 8,000 are on benefits. The New Zealand Gynecological Cancer Foundation is using the month of September to raise awareness about gynecological cancers. Christy Zhao reports.
Gynecological cancers are cancers that start in a woman's reproductive system. They are the fourth most common type of cancers affecting women, and they include ovarian, uterine, endometrial, cervical and vulvar cancer. One woman dies every day from one of those cancers, and ovarian cancer has the highest mortality rate, with one woman dying every 48 hours on average. The New Zealand Gynecological Cancer Foundation says early detecting is vital to reducing those numbers.
Staging is a very important determinant in survival, so the earlier you detect problems in your reproductive area, the earlier that you can seek treatment and hopefully stop the progression of the disease even before it becomes cancer.
September is Gynecological Cancer Awareness Month, but Michelle Quirk says every month is a good month to raise awareness among women, most of whom can still be embarrassed to talk about the signs and symptoms.
There is a lot of reluctance to talk about the reproductive area, which is quite difficult, but it also means that there's a lot of potential. We're trying to normalise the conversation so that people, women and the community generally, are far more comfortable talking about their nether regions, vaginas and ovaries and wombs.
The foundation will host an inaugural high teal event at the Langham this weekend, a chance for women to get together and talk about gynecological cancer while enjoying a fun treat. Christy Zhao, 9 News.
Over the course of 7 months, the Auckland Museum presents something different to the mature audiences late at night. Keisha has more.
The 7 deadly sins are taking turns under the spotlight late at the museum. Thursday, 6th of September's lineup is a night of lust explored behind closed doors. It's suited for mature audiences.
The public are excited about discussing something which is just a little bit taboo, a little bit edgy, not something we necessarily have discussed in sort of an academic forum like the museum.
It's the first time that the museum is presenting the 7 deadly sins. Anything from chastity bout to sculptures of naked people. No collection is without a story.
A museum cannot possibly exist without having thousands of stories about sexuality inside its walls, because one of the fundamental motivating factors for all of civilization is their sexuality and expression of power. It's about their marriage, their family values, it's how their cultures are set up, it's religious values too, expressed through sexuality.
The night will begin with some wine, smart talk on lust, followed by a choice of guided tour around the gallery, watch a dance, listen to a live band, or enjoy some Shakespeare performances. It will be a fun night for adults, and audiences' discretion is advised. Kay Chow, 9 News.
The search is on for the country's best bartender. Amy Chin chatted to one of the semi-finalists and being New Zealand.
Touted as the biggest bartender competition in New Zealand history, 30 out of 370 entrants were selected into the semi-finals. Hosted by Beam, a global premium spirits company, contestants went through an online exam and will now be interviewed by the Beam brand ambassador.
A lot of the competitions that really exist now are
based around who can make the best drink. And as we in the industry know, that it's not just about being able to make a great drink. It's how you are with customers and how you come across and how you can communicate.
Scottish Adam Neal is a bartender of 6 years and will create his interpretation of the ultimate Jim Beam and Cola using one of the Jim Beam branded bourbons.
Yeah, like a couple of secret weapons that I'll bring out, hopefully when they're needed.
Neal chose bartending instead of completing his degree, sounding humble about being a semi-finalist. From what Chadwick says, his skills prove he's in the right industry.
It's good. It's really exciting. It was a bit sort of intense. The second round sort of quiz questions were quite difficult.
I've seen Adam working in a day-to-day role, and it was one of the more blessed times that I've had in my life.
Neal shares what sets him apart and what he plans to do should he win.
I'd like to say maybe my sense of humour. I talk a lot. Prize money, I would definitely increase my alcohol selection that I've got at home. The girlfriend's not too excited about that, but I would love to increase sort of what I have at home. And sort of
the grand final features 8 bartenders where they square off in challenges to be crowned New Zealand's very first Beam Bar legend. Amy Chen, 9 News.
Now we have our TV9 host from Asia Focus, Julie Nixon, to talk about Maori Plan Puffed Up.
The Independent Statutory Maori Board's blueprint for development over the next 30 years in Auckland is adventurous and self-serving. For instance, the board is asking the Auckland Council to support the establishment of a Te Reo Maori working group to promote the use of Maori and to give its backing to compulsory Te Reo at all Auckland schools. It also wants the Council to support financial literacy programs to ensure Maori business success and to facilitate Maori engagement in trade delegations and foreign direct investment. Most of these steps are steps too far, not to mention too costly. However, the Maori Board can't be blamed for this approach, given the Council's catch-all 30-year plan which extends to social welfare, education and climate change. This approach reflects law passed by the Labour government a decade ago. That is, to broaden the role of local bodies to provide for the social, economic, cultural and environmental well-being of their communities. But the key government takes a different view. It's instructing councils to focus on providing good quality local infrastructure, public services and regulatory functions that are most cost effective for households and business. While the councils are best placed to know what their communities want and need, the government's not about to delegate its authority in education or other social spheres, no matter what the Auckland Council or the Maori Board would like to happen. The government's already rejected the proposal by the Royal Commission on Local Governance that Maori should have 3 seats on the Auckland Council. The thinking being that Maori should not be given special privileges in Auckland over and above other ratepayers. So while the Maori plan for Auckland reflects what Maori wants, it's not what the Auckland Council can give them.
Thank you, Julian. Now let's take a short break and we'll be back shortly.